Hello and welcome to Dinis Guarda, citiesabc Open Business Council YouTube podcast series. We are here again to profile leading organizations, leading personalities that are shifting the world and pushing boundaries in terms of innovation, in terms of finding solutions both for our cities, for our countries, and as well how can we actually make things better. Today we're going to tackle a very important thing, and we're going to highlight a company that actually was highlighted as one of the winners of the first Open Business Council Cities ABC World Smart Cities Forum Awards. They won the award of social impact, and it's been working in creating better sustainability for cities. We're talking about tMonitor, and tMonitor is a particularly interesting company that is tackling the areas of pollution and using machine learning, Internet of Things, and technology to improve data around the perception of how we can actually improve the solution around pollution. Pollution is a big thing worldwide. There's around 7 million deaths globally per year with pollution-related issues. In the Western Pacific region alone, there's around 2.2 million people that die each year. So tMonitor is a company actually that comes from Vietnam, where actually is a big country, a fast-growing economy, but as well a country that has been struggling with pollution as its industrialization has been growing very fast. So tMonitor is a smart hardware and machine learning software air quality monitoring company from Hanoi, the biggest city of Vietnam, that has been actually enable and short and long-term control of all factors affecting community health, ensure safety and boost labor productivity, and ensure compliance to both international and Vietnamese regulation standards. So tMonitor has been providing technologies that touch data dashboard monitors, tackling smart building solutions to look at control of air quality, and as well using machine learning and Internet of Things sensors to improve how a building, an organization, or even a city can actually become smarter and look at more solutions and looking at 13 air quality parameters. So it's a new company still in startup mode, but already has been getting some international awards like the IBM Watson, and as well, of course, the Open Business Council Cities ABC World Smart Cities Forum first awards. So I welcome to our series, and we're going to be talking about the company and about their solutions.
Hello, thank you for your time today. I am Nam, CEO and founder of tMonitor, the AI IoT smart air quality monitoring system. And beside me is Mr. Nghia, co-founder of tMonitor.
Hello, my name is Nghia. I'm the founder of tMonitor who brings the tMonitor into life. I'm very excited and thank you very much for a very expensive and overall introduction of our startup.
My pleasure. So can you tell us how did you create, why did you create the company? When did you create, and a bit the history of the company?
So let me start first. Actually, I'm working in the ICT industry for more than 20 years, and most of my time spending abroad in UK and Japan, developing software solution for our foreigner customers. But then I'm still long for changing the lives of people around myself by setting up a software outsourcing company. And we have hundreds of software engineers with a happy coding for a better life motto. And to understand how to improve that. Further than that, we see the better quality, air quality for people to breathe every day as well. And during that journey, I'm also looking for my children and many other children in Vietnam to create a better intellectual environment like STEAM, and to create their future with their mind and their hands. So that's why I partnership with a US company called Science Made Fund organization in order to do that. But then Hanoi come up with a very bad news of air pollution at that time. And we have a little incident that might explain later. So that's that all started journey by incident.
And Nghia and I have been working together since 2012 when we are just founded his outsourcing company 3 years in the shop. We are colleagues, companions, and brothers. We have supported each other in various software development projects, together becoming the first warriors of the company to break into the US market. In 2015, the sudden fire in the company building did spark a light to build a smart solution for crisis management and better air monitoring, which later turned into tMonitor.
I think it's not an easy journey that we have been through. We had a lot of sleepless nights, learning, coding, and meeting, and then do more learning, coding, and meeting all the time. But I think there's a way, and it's remarkable that our shared hobby, like riding big motorbikes along the open country roads, would ease our soul and mind. Then we can continue to work on this difficult project to create a social impact just in Vietnam and for the region as well.
And two of us, other teammates, and many more partners to come, has been together putting all of our efforts into expanding tMonitor market and calling for investment right now.
No, very impressive. Especially, I know that Vietnam has a lot of issues related with air quality and different areas. So could you tell us, for people that are not so familiar, so let's say, what's your product offering and how does it work?
Yeah, actually, Vietnam is a developing country and being, we can say, in the middle of a very rapid developing area, the Asia Pacific. So the industrialization is rapidly cross out all over the country, and there's a lot of people working in the industrial sector, in the industrial park and industrial zones. There's an estimate of around more than 22 million workers working in that area, and Vietnam is a young population country as well, so there are more than 20 million kids going to schools every day. And due to the rapid industrialization of the country, the air pollution becomes serious, especially after a decade of industrialization. People start showing health problems after they finish the job in the industrial zone. They have got the burden of the disease, especially lung cancer and lung-related disease, which accounted for the second biggest number in Vietnam every year of the deaths. And then we see, so that is a problem. No one cares about it when they are still young, and it's a very complex issue because you breathe in the air every day unconsciously, and after a while, then you got a symptom, you got a problem, then you know, oh, something wrong with the air that we breathing it at the workplace. Then you find out too late, and you have a big burden to yourself and your family afterwards, especially after retirement, for example, from the workplaces. That's why we want to visualize all the elements and the pollutant within the air, which is normally invisible, and we make it visible right at the time that the people are working in that place, so that people can be highly aware what happened in the air at the workplace, in the industrial park, industrial zone. Then they can have the early preventive action, maybe, and as well as some compensation from the bosses, from the employer, like that or something like that, so that they can secure and have a healthier life. And all of the factors in that already factoring in the law and regulation of Vietnamese for managing, for the government to manage those industrial zone and industrial park. But that is the technical difficulty of real-time monitoring those information, those parameters. So that's why we think technology can help. And Nam and I, we figure out a way that to produce hardware boxes with a lot of sensor, integrated sensor, so that we can collect the information on the air pollution. And we send into the cloud, visualize all the data, and show to the people at that workplace. So briefly, that's the way that we go with the solution.
Very impressive. So I know that tMonitor pioneers innovative air monitoring products, services, and special dashboards that lead to improve air quality indoors. So can you tell us, for instance, I'm a company or a shopping center or a big organization. So how would your product work for that? Because I think it's important to explain exactly how you work, because I know that you have a comprehensive dashboard, you have different solutions.
So tMonitor is a smart air quality monitoring solution to enable the short and long-term control of all factors affecting community health, ensure the safety, and boost the labor productivity, and so the compliance to both international and Vietnamese regulation standards. And tMonitor also provides appropriate emergency response just in time when any crisis happens.
Yeah, but it's too early stage for most people around the world, and especially in Vietnam, to be highly aware of the air pollution problem affecting their health and their life at workplace. So first, we need to do what we say, educate people about the importance of understanding how the air quality, how the air pollution affected to your health. And then we have to explain to the bosses at the industrial and the manufacturing factory that if you improve the health of the labor workforce, how you boosting up the productivity and make sense for the management of the environment at the workplace. So that is the way that we approach to those big factory and where there's a lot of people, and we want to move to the shopping mall and other area. Especially at the moment, we are moving to the school, university, where a lot of people studying and learning and spend the whole day there. And I think the children in Vietnam is got a lot of care and investment from their parents, their teachers, and their schoolmates. So that is another approach that we are doing at the moment in order to expand the tMonitor and to have to make a bigger and immediate social impact to the life of Vietnamese people.
So in terms of the way you've been working, one of the things that is quite impressive is that you work with the Internet of Things and machine learning to highlight best solutions to air control and create data-driven sustainability initiatives around this data and these dashboards. So can you tell us, how do you work both with Internet of Things and machine learning in particular?
So we are both a background in the software engineer. We spent many years in developing the software product and platform and solution for customers around the world. We mastering in data analytics using the AI, and we got a sponsorship as well as a championship from IBM Watson, which is quite famous AI tool and platform internationally. And then the AI engine, they need data, they need input, they need a lot of data to be input. So we started with software platform first, and we want to look at the air information around it. And obviously, this is all invisible. No one can provide those information, those data at all. Then we think, oh, then we have to collect the data ourselves. We have to build the big data around our workplace first, and then expand to the school, to the industrial zone, etc. And we start our hardware journey then. We buy the existing product in the market, the sensor, we unlock it, and we think, oh, we have to build, because in Vietnam, they're different from the other areas. And Vietnam regulation on the environmental health and work is different from the other country. They have a law, no one to implement it, no one to care every day about it. They care only once a year to make a data collection once a year, which is not representative for the environment where the people have to work every day. Then come with the, we think, oh, we can design our own hardware just as an enabler to have to collect the data in real time every day, so that we can have more data, more accurate data on all the parameters that required by the law and the government of Vietnam, and they are the essential information to the health of the workforce. So we started by having some hardware engineers join us in the team, sourcing all of the sensor, the analog sensor, which is very important to collect the data. We, the hardware engineers in our team, design our own circuit board in order to do the conversion from the analog signal into the digital signal. And we also build the motherboard. We call them small motherboard, which is the IoT for the communication module, so that it can collect all of those digital signals that we convert in the previous phase and put it into the cloud, so that our data AI engine can analyze those data, accumulate, cleansing, and analyze those data. So that is the general architecture of the system. And that is how we expand the tMonitor as a startup gradually from the software open AI platform into a total solution, including the hardware and the tMonitor hardware box to collect the data at the workplace.
So regarding to the technology, currently we have some like we are the Asia Pacific champions of IBM Watsonville for AI solutions for enterprises, and we are one of the 5 winners for the AI accelerator challenge in Vietnam this year. We also have the award for Open Business Council for the social impact. Thank you very much. And regarding to the social impact startup, we currently are the most voted social impact startup by the public in the Blue Venture Award in 2020. And we also have the first prize of the IoT startup. This is a very famous Vietnam award, and we are the winner for the IoT startup last year.
Well, congratulations. First of all, it's really impressive, and your product is really quite advanced, and I think it can be scaled. So one of the questions I have here is that both ambient outdoor and household indoor air pollution are responsible for about 7 million deaths global per year. And in the Western Pacific region alone, around 2.2 million people die each year with the pollution-related symptoms. And in Vietnam, I know that around 60,000 deaths per year are related to air pollution-related. So I know that you guys are looking at these monitor systems and using data to look at this. So could you explain for let's say, if I'm a big organization or if I'm a city, how I should use your technology, and how your technology, especially using artificial intelligence, can help the city understand this? Because I think this is one thing that all the cities need, and all the big organizations. So your offering is very important. And I'm interested to explain, let's say I'm a city, I'm a mayor of a city, I want to use tMonitor, or I'm a big shopping center, how to use tMonitor. and how it works from an AI and from an IoT perspective?
Oh, it's a very big question and very interesting question. Let me start with, we have to do from the small space first. So statistics and science research showing that the indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air. And of course, everyone understands there's a very strong correlation between the indoor and the outdoor air anyway. So we first start with fighting the pollution within the indoor air, which is in the closed working space or offices. It's mostly due to the concentration of the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and some other pollutant that we call TVOC emits from our appliance we use, like even from the TV, from the table, from the chair. The TVOC stands for total volatile organic compound, which is emitted in the air, and we're breathing. And it causes problems with our lungs and with our health, with our body, and sometimes with our mind as well. So when you suppose you are the mayor, you need to improve the workplace of the people, so people working happily every day at the workplace or at home. Then the AI system we develop also have the feature that we monitoring the information that we collect from our hardware boxes or from all the sensors and trigger what we call the predefined scenario in terms of crisis happen. We call the crisis like the incident happen. If an incident happens, we have a backend, we will define all the possible scenario in the backend of the system. So if the incident happens, no one to be panicked. Because most of the time when some incident happens, people are getting panicked within the office and it cause further damage to the office and to even to their own. So we have a predefined scenario so people can follow up and follow through. So that is one thing. The other thing is that we have the engine that we do, that is the forecasting as well. Another step is the forecasting. Something happened, we trigger the scenario, the predefined scenario that we all plan, so that we alleviate the people, we have reduce the damage if any happen. Then we take one step further. The AI engine will do the forecasting of something is going to happen soon, for example. Then people have some more seconds, some more minutes to save, even to save their lives, to evacuate timely. Then they save their life, for example. That is the second thing. Then we also do the analytics on the correlation among those air parameters, those air quality parameters, to define more accurate information in the air, as well as the correlation between the indoor and the outdoor. So we can also detect some area in the city there's a problem with the air pollution due to the maybe manufacturing sourcing or maybe due to the vehicle with a lot of carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide emissions, for example. And all of those we put into UCL, which is the upper control limit, and the LCL, the lower control limit, defined by those areas, so that if anything out of control, it will notify the people in charge, maybe the mayor or any assistant to the mayor, to have the appropriate action to respond timely to those problems. So that is, I think that is the scenario, and that is why the Rockefeller Foundation, they choose 100 cities. They have a 100 resilient city program, and they choose 100 cities all over the world. In Vietnam, there's Da Nang, and Cần were selected. And in Da Nang, our solution was introduced by the government authority there in order to help provide the scenario in terms of the crisis happen, even due to the climate change or due to the typhoon, because that is a big city. This is a city nearby the sea in Vietnam. Then we had the evacuation plan, all of school area defined into the system. So if something worse happens, that we trigger the scenario so that all of the members in the government authority can help the people respond quickly and save the lives of the people as well.
Really impressive, and I think it's really one of the areas that there's a huge possibility of growth, and I'm sure that your company is going to have all these possibilities. So you have strong case studies around your product. Can you tell us some of these case studies that you want to highlight? Because I've been studying your company, and you have already some things you've been doing in different industries, but specifically you have both in terms of case studies related in different areas of products. So could you tell us a bit some of the main case studies that you would like to highlight for our audience?
So currently we have more than 30 pilots. We deploy more than 30 tMonitor devices on 5 segments. For example, industrial zone, school, clinic, industrial park, and so on. And currently we deploy 4 tMonitor devices onto the plastic printing card company. Let's say 1 year ago, and at that time they don't care about the air quality inside the factory, and they just use the air purifier, and they turn on the air purifier all the time in order to hope that it reduce the air pollution inside the factory. But they cannot visualize the air quality here. So when we came to this factory, we think that, oh, it's terrible. We cannot breathe just for the first 5 minutes. But after that, we think it's normal, because our body tends to think that it's okay, but it's not okay, right? And
so actually, it's a card printing company, printing like telecom card or the Visa card or MasterCard, and the air was polluted by from the ink that they use in printing, and from the plastic of the card, like this, like a telecommunication card with a very colorful one. When you come to the user, it's okay, it's already good. But at the time of the processing of those cards, it emits a lot of problems in the air, and no one. If you first time enter the factory area, you feel it's terrible, but after a while, the body adjusts and you think it's okay. And the symptom only show up, let's say after 5 or 10 years working in that environment, and you got a big problem with the lung cancer. And at that time, nobody has a responsibility on that except yourself. And in Vietnam, things like that happen. The younger generation, the younger worker, we join in replacing the old worker. And despite the old worker suffer from the lung issue, from symptoms and from problems, the younger started another cycle again. So that is an interesting case study that we have educated the boss of the factory how to improve it, how to use the air purifier at a different location, at a different time. I mean the time splitting between the shifting of the worker, etc. So We also help them to install more air purifier in order to improve the working in the inside those printing factories, as well as we define what is the habit number, the carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide or SO2. Then the boss started a team to find out the sources of the problem, and they are now in progress of cleaning and finding a different way of doing the printing and compartmentalization. So when you hitting the oil, the ink, you need to compartmentalization of those hitting area, so that keeping the poisonous emission out of the working place where there's a human working area. So that's one of the very prominent case study we have about more than a year ago. And recently, there's another interesting case study that we are doing for the university. So actually, for the university is an open air, very good place. Everything is good, but the interesting is that we have the ability to do some smart LED screen, very big one, like say 8 square meters, very big one, and we display all of the air parameter that we sensing inside the university onto that. Of course, along with their propaganda on recruitment, etc. But what we do is we do the modularization of the simple LED, big screen LED, so that it can become, we turn it into an IoT display.
You can call that IoT storyteller.
And from that very big one displayed on the street, so people can look at it, and it changes the people's awareness of how we take care of the environment in the university. So the students, the people working by, they look at the very big screen with the animation and with the cartoon talking about what is the TVOC, what happens if the CO2 rise up to this level. So we want to raise the awareness in the society. And that is one of the touching points that I might call to the society to tell them about the importance of visualize the air that they breathe every day. So that's another very interesting, but I hope by the time more people we getting in, and we have more of that system installed all over our country.
Yeah, is that a few cases that we already done, and for the big picture in general, we see that there are a lot of children in Vietnam, so that we're gonna have more use case in the near future. You can see that in Vietnam, we see that in Vietnam lack of public awareness and an affordable real-time monitoring system of air quality. And currently in Vietnam, there are no comprehensive real-time industrial air quality monitoring system, and no early warning predictive data analytics to support ERP decisions. In Vietnam, it's a high cost and manual measurement performance and controlled by the government authority to implement the environmental law and regulation. Of course, air pollution become a big social issue, and the industrialization progress rapidly in Vietnam, and in the world, air pollution is #1 global challenge by the WHO. Yeah, and we just want to bring tMonitor to the work and seize a great opportunity to change the quality of life at work.
No, I think it's really key, and I think it's one area that I think you have a huge business opportunity. So thank you so much for your time. I have one last thing that I think is important for our audience. So I know that you've been winning a lot of international awards, and especially, like you mentioned, IBM Watson is quite impressive. And your product has a huge opportunity, especially in position in smart cities, ecosystems, and smart buildings, a lot of these different things. So how are you expanding internationally? How can people find about your product here in London or Europe? How can we actually contact tMonitor? And how we work international to connect you with other companies?
We have a website. That's the only thing to bring us to the world. And I hope that as you getting the award from the Open Business Council and the listing over there, I hope that we can have more connection from your directory, as well as we are at the moment still in the sitting round of calling for investment. So we hope that more and more foreign investor we be in contact with, and they will spreading our social impact work and in Vietnam here. And we are also looking forward to a very rapid growth market for the air monitoring system in over the world, which is I got a study that expected to be about $8 billion market. And for the plastic growing, although the plastic growing market is in APAC, which accounted for 39% of the growth rate every year, and accounting for about $2.7 billion. So that is another, not just about the social impact that we can make, also it's another business opportunity for everyone. Along with the business opportunity, we can see improve the life of the people, especially in the industrialization country like and developing country like in Vietnam and some other Southeast Asia country. For European and America, we have some existing network of customers for the software part and for the software services. But I hope that with the expansion of tMonitor in Vietnam, with a lot of useful case study, and with our famous support, Dinis, we might have some more opportunity over there in the UK.
It's really impressive. So I want to thank you for your time. It's really impressive what you're doing. And of course, we'll promote this interview and other things, because it's really, I think it's interesting, first of all, to see something so cutting edge coming from Vietnam, but as well, like you mentioned, the social impact and the innovation that comes out of this, which is a big problem for everyone around the world. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.